U.S. arrests two for setting up Chinese secret police station in New York. France seeks to reassure Taiwan over Macron's controversial remarks. U.S. Navy patrols Taiwan Strait. Insect farming startup raises $175 million for food expansion. Apple plans to launch new headset at WWDC. European spacecraft on way to Jupiter's icy moons. Schwarzenegger terminated utility trench. Researchers develop taxidermy bird drones.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Tuesday, April 18th, and here are your top stories. U.S. law enforcement officials on Monday arrested two New York residents, Lu Jianwang, 61, and Chen Jinping, 59, for allegedly operating a Chinese secret police station in Manhattan's Chinatown, part of a crackdown on Beijing's alleged targeting of U.S.-based dissidents. They face charges of conspiring to act as agents of China's government without informing U.S. authorities and obstruction of justice. They are expected to appear in a federal court in Brooklyn later on Monday.
This nondescript office building in the heart of bustling Chinatown in Lower Manhattan has a dark secret.
Also on Monday, prosecutors unveiled charges against 34 Chinese officials for allegedly operating a troll farm and harassing dissidents online, including by disrupting their meetings on U.S. technology platforms. They also added 8 Chinese government officials as defendants in a case announced in 2020 charging a former China-based executive of Zoom Video Communications Inc. with disrupting video meetings commemorating the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests.
The French Parliament is set to send 2 delegations to visit Taiwan this month after President Emmanuel Macron made controversial remarks on cross-strait relations during a visit to Beijing. French Member of Parliament Eric Bothero will head a French National Assembly delegation to Taiwan on Sunday. The delegation aims to reaffirm France's support of Taiwan and will re-emphasize the recent uncommon passage of a French naval vessel through the Taiwan Strait.
Taiwan has downplayed President Emmanuel Macron's recent remarks about not becoming embroiled in cross-strait tensions.
Bothero is one of the MPs that put forward a bill favoring Taiwan's participation in international organizations, which was adopted by the French Senate recently. He said that semiconductors will be on the agenda during the visit, along with culture and talent cultivation. Meanwhile, Taiwan Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph Wu told Bloomberg in an interview last week, a separate delegation led by French Senator and Chairman of the Senate's Taiwan Friendship Group Alain Richard is expected to travel to Taiwan on April 24.
According to Taiwan media outlet Taiwan News, a U.S. destroyer sailed through the Taiwan Strait on Sunday, April 16th, while 18 Chinese warplanes and 4 warships were detected around Taiwan from Sunday, April 16th to Monday, April 17th. The report said of the 18 detected aircraft, 4 had entered the southwest and southeast sectors of Taiwan's air defense identification zone. In the meantime, debris from China's Long March 4B rocket was detected falling into a no-fly zone imposed by Beijing north of Taiwan in the Andes.
Taipei has condemned the exercises and Washington has called for restraint, saying it is monitoring Beijing's action closely.
The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet on Sunday said the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Milius had conducted a routine Taiwan Strait transit through waters where high seas freedoms of navigation and overflight apply in accordance with international law. The press release said the warship had navigated through a corridor in the strait that is beyond the territorial sea of any coastal state. The 7th Fleet said the warship's passage demonstrates the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific.
Insect farming startup Insect SAS has secured more funding as it expands globally and looks to prioritize higher value food for pets and humans. The company didn't name the investors in the most recent round because Insect is currently discussing a second tranche of the funding to be concluded this year. Previous backers have included Astainer Ventures, BPI Friends, and Iron Man actor Robert Downey Jr. Insects have emerged as a sustainable protein helped by regulatory approvals in Europe.
The world's largest insect farming startup based out of France. They were founded in 2011, and today they count more than 230 employees.
Insect, which operates farms in France, the Netherlands, and the U.S., is also expanding in Mexico, while eyeing a possible entry into Asia. The company has secured about $175 million in supply contracts and is in the process of negotiating customer deals worth about $1 billion. Insect co-founder Antoine Hubert said bugs still remain a niche market and pricier food in the West. Securing financing has also been difficult for startups and new technologies amid increased investor scrutiny and more limited funding.
Hello, I'm Peggy. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Monday, July 25th, and here are your top stories. Bloomberg reported that Australia is on high alert for foot-and-mouth disease in its cattle herds after traces of
用心生活，享受自由，学习走自己的路。Funday 英语。
Apple Inc.'s Worldwide Developers Conference in June will be making its new devices more attractive. The mixed reality headset will be the star of the show. With the reality headset, Apple is preparing for a future beyond the iPhone and iPad. The device will come with a clear story for developers in terms of how they will want to use it, and much of the week-long conference will showcase the headset's onboard app store and accompanying tools. Most importantly, the headset is just the beginning of Apple's plans for mixed reality.
The Appleverse is coming sooner than you think.
Many executives at the company believe the device will have a slow start but eventually will have the opportunity to replace the iPhone. In any case, the headset is unlikely to go on sale for several months after its unveiling, giving developers time to create mixed reality apps and services. The company is already working on 2 follow-up models, an updated high-end version that will offer more processing power and a downscale product that should help make the technology more accessible to ordinary consumers.
A European spacecraft rocketed away last Friday on a decade-long quest to explore Jupiter and 3 of its icy moons that could hold buried oceans. The journey began with a perfect morning liftoff by Europe's Ariane rocket from French Guiana on the coast of South America. It will take the robotic explorer, dubbed JUICE, 8 years to reach Jupiter, where it will scope out not only the solar system's biggest planet, but also its 3 ice-encrusted moons, Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede.
European Space Agency Director General Joseph Aschbacher said JUICE will be identifying the habitability of these icy moons around Jupiter. It will hit the brakes to orbit Ganymede, the primary target of the €1.6 billion mission. Ganymede is not only the solar system's largest moon but has its own magnetic field with dazzling auroras at the poles. Even more enticing, it's thought to have an underground ocean holding more water than Earth. The spacecraft, about the size of a small bus, won't reach Jupiter until 2031.
The giant pothole that Arnold Schwarzenegger said he recently filled on a street in his Los Angeles neighborhood was actually a trench that had been dug for utility work. After months of heavy rains that have turned roads into tire-popping Swiss cheese for many commuters, Arnold Schwarzenegger struck a chord when he released a video of himself and a crew filling a depression on a street with a packaged asphalt patch. According to the city, Southern California Gas Co. had covered the trench with temporary asphalt.
Hasta la vista, potholes.
Schwarzenegger wrote on Twitter, "I always say, let's not complain, let's do something about it." Here you go. Today, after the whole neighborhood has been upset about this giant pothole that's been screwing up cars and bicycles for weeks, I went out with my team and fixed it. SoCal Gas said that an upgrade of a pipeline system there was completed on January 26 but rain delayed permanent paving, which is usually done in about 30 days. It expects to finish the permanent paving of the site on Tuesday.
A team at the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology in Socorro is taking birds that have been preserved through taxidermy and converting them into drones in order to study flight. Dr. Mustafa Hassanalian, a mechanical engineering professor who is leading the project, said, "We use dead birds and make them a drone." Hassanalian said taxidermy bird drones can be used to better understand the formation and flight patterns of flocks that in turn can be applied to the aviation industry.
Hassanalian said the current taxidermy bird prototype flies for a maximum of only 20 minutes, so the next stage is to figure out how to make it fly longer and conduct tests in the wild among living birds. He said, "If we learn how these birds manage energy between themselves, we can apply that into the future aviation industry to save more energy and save more fuel." They've done experiments and determined that for their fixed-wing aircraft, applying a certain color can change flight efficiency.
Now let's take a look at today's vocabulary from the news of the new Apple headset. Number 1, showcase, 展示本领才华. Jack found a film role that showcased all his talents. Number 2, in terms of, 就什么而言, the cost in terms of human life was high. Number 3, high-end, 高档的, 高端的. To many foreigners, this is a very high-end brand. And that's all for today's news. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.